What up, though? My name is Bobby.
And I'm Veronica.
And we are the Browns.
We'd like to welcome you to another episode of
Breaking Bread with the Browns.
So again, I know we have been on a hiatus, but we are back in 2020, and we want to start off by saying Happy New Year. So we hope everyone enjoyed their New Year, closed out the year strong with Christmas, but we are back in full effect, and what we kind of want to talk to you tonight about is consistency and just kind of how we closed out 2019, having a YouTube channel and kind of what that meant, how that kind of changed the dynamic for us.
Of this YouTube. And what we have to learn is one word: balance. And you haven't seen this because one thing about YouTube life, before you get YouTube life together, you got to get your life together. And it's a balance that we got to have here, up with God, each other, and our children. So Christmas and the holidays, some things we have to get structured because we got to get home in order. Before we start doing anything, we got to make sure home is right. And that's what we have to focus on.
That, and I think it's important just to kind of, and you might experience this in your marriage or in your life. Sometimes things can kind of move quick and a lot faster than you expected. And sometimes you have to kind of take a couple of steps back and kind of regroup. So when we initially started the channel last year, this was something that the Lord gave Bobby years ago. And we just kind of never acted on it then. You know, we felt like the time was right. We were kind of in a place where we could go ahead and get the ball rolling. And we did. One, we didn't know that we would get the reception that we got, or like the feedback. We didn't know we would have as many viewers, just kind of people reaching out. And then we just kind of didn't plan ahead. You know how you kind of start something on a whim? It wasn't really on a whim, but we didn't really have a plan in place. So some of our dynamics changed, like with how we were able to shoot our videos, and life happened, right?
Well, just like this. We move in faith, because the way you please God is in faith, and faith without works is dead. But coming into this 2020 vision, we've learned that you must write the vision and
make it plain.
And that's the thing we learn, and that we forever learn. And it reflects in our behavior just every day. And so now that we in this 2020, like 2020 twin, we will get to that next level, and we understand what's coming next, and we're focused with that vision.
Yeah, so our overall vision for 2020, for us, God had kind of given it to Bobby, but then when we went to church on watch night, our pastor came like with the same message, you know, so that was just confirmation for us. And it's a 2020 vision for a 2020 victory. Like 2020, like in order to see clearly, people with 2020 vision, they have perfect vision. They can they can see everything is clear, right?
That's right.
So we have to write it down and make it plain. And that's what we kind of been spending time doing. We had a couple of videos we put out because we had so many different ideas. But we had to kind of get back centered, right?
Grounded.
With the Lord, because this is something that He called us to do.
And it's not about us.
Right.
It's not about likes. It's not about what we can get or what's presented to us. It's about Him getting the glory out of it.
And being able to be a blessing to His people.
That's right.
Right? And to marriages in general.
That's what it's about.
Because that is the example on the earth of the church, right? So we want to make sure that whatever we're doing is in alignment with what God is calling us to do. And we were losing sight of that. I think because the ball was rolling really fast.
And the pull was coming from so many different ways. Other people in a good way. But I'm going to give you a perfect example. We talking about vision. You know I was going to do this. But
this is real right here,
y'all. Perfect.
If y'all know us in real life, Bobby wears glasses.
These are my specs, aka frames. But I'm going to run to put my frames on. Now remember, this is my vision for my eyes. Now even though you look
I wear glasses too, but just for the computer.
Look at my frames. Now even though
I'm scared to open up my eyes, y'all.
This is real. Even though these are my specs for my eyes, even though me and her are one, the Bible says we become one flesh. At the end of the day, this is my vision. The vision that I have for me, what God given me, she can't actually see it through my vision. She have to follow me and trust me in the way that I'm going. The same way we do with God himself, much as church. Everything have a structure. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to guide her the wrong way. But she can't see what I see. Just like her specs. I can't see the vision that God gave her. But we know by faith in who we are in God. And that's the most important part. And I think that's what we had to learn coming to the end of the year and coming to right now, this moment. Because we're just not going to be doing it half-heartedly, just half-stepping, or just forcing it. It's like a relationship. We don't want to force this. This is a blessing. This is beautiful. But if you get caught up outside the vision, you're going to miss the biggest part of it.
And I think for us, you know, being in this space, what we are doing is different, right? So I think we were kind of looking at families that are vlogging daily and are doing different things, and it's like, this is what we have to do, but
it's too much.
That's just not. But not only is it too much for us, but it's not what God called us to do, right? Our whole focus is being a blessing to married couples, soon to be married, engaged couples, and letting them hear the testimonies of other couples or other people so that they will know that marriage and a strong, healthy marriage is possible, and that whatever obstacle they may face, they can get through it, right? They can overcome it. So that's the core premise of Breaking Bread with the Browns. We are happy to be back. We are happy to be refocused. And our challenge for you, just as you start 2020, I know people set New Year's resolutions and different goals and things like that, and that is awesome. We should definitely do that, but you definitely want to make sure that you get on one accord with your spouse, and you guys are praying together so that you can become clear on what the vision is that God has for you in your life, us as individuals, right? Us as a unit, and then also us as a family. Because even though we have Breaking Bread with the Browns, it's some things that God has called Bobby to as an individual and called me to, you know, as an individual. And it's so important to be clear on that, number one, so that you can stay the course, right? So when different things are coming in, you will know how to say no.
And don't get discouraged.
I think that's like the biggest thing, because we were getting hit with a lot of opportunities, like to go different places, but it's some things that we know we're not going to compromise on, right? But that is because we still held on to the vision. You know, we still held on to it, even though we were kind of getting distracted. But that's why it's important to know the vision, know what your goals are, write them down, make it plain, stay focused on them, revisit them weekly so that you know you're not getting off course. Right.
It is very important, because I think what happens is you get distracted. And the quicker you get distracted, the quicker you get drawn away. And for us, it's very important that we stay on this rock.
Yes.
And then we're not going to compromise anything, but the same token to enjoy. Because I enjoy breaking bread. I enjoy fellowship with my wife, but I love seeing y'all out there and seeing the different responses we're getting. And that is the most important thing of anything to me.
So we just wanted to come on tonight to tell you we are officially back.
Officially.
We are refocused.
So refocus. Quick, explain to folks what really refocus is going to mean for 2020 for the broadcast.
So 2020, you'll see us every Monday night at 8 o'clock.
Monday night.
Our normal time slot. And then we are going to start bringing on couples so that you can hear their testimony. We're also going to be giving relationship tips to help you improve your marriage. Date nights, different things that we've incorporated. We've been saying we were going to have our website up. That is coming in the first quarter of 2020. So you can have a place where you can go, different ideas, different tools, recipes that we put out. You'll have a place to go and touch it, print it off, pull it out, right? We're definitely looking forward to doing devotionals, all back to our core principle of helping, encourage, and strengthen you in your marriage.
And the good thing about a New Year resolution is it ain't just for the year. I look at it as
Yeah.
Every day is the day the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Every day is not waiting for that year. And I think the thing about 2020 is it set the tone not just for a year, but for a decade. So for my mind right now, it's just not for 2020, it's for the rest of this decade. So what me and her do right now is set the tone for the next 10 years. In 10 more years, I'll be 50. This is time out. When you're 30, some of y'all about to be 30, some of y'all about to be even younger, or even older.
21.
But it's time to recognize what is coming next. And so I'm grateful right now to sit here and just refocus.
Yeah.
Now you gotta refocus with my glasses on?
No, I'm gonna refocus with my own vision.
That's right. And the key thing is we come together and trust each other. So we're gonna be breaking bread soon, every Monday.
Every Monday night at 8 o'clock. We love you guys. If you have not taken the time out this year yet to set some goals or sit down with your spouse,
please
take the time out this week. Set aside 30 minutes to an hour. Sit down, pray before you start, and then write down some goals and visions that you have for you and your spouse for 2020, 5 years, 10 years, as Bobby said, as you enter a new decade. Take the time out now. As we always say, you either pay on the front end or you pay on the back end. Put in the time to plan so that whatever it is the Lord has laid on your heart, you can see it through to the end and see it through with excellency and consistency, because that is our goal. We are praying for you guys. We ask that you continue to pray for us, that we maintain this consistency no matter what. And if you ever need a word of prayer, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you have questions, reach out to us. We are always available. We thank you for tuning in and joining us and sticking with us through 2019 and entering into 2020.
2020.
Break bread.
Break bread, y'all.